Saludo mi gente, gracias por su sintonía. Esta es tu casa Long Island, donde usted va a aprender de los expertos en real estate, va a aprender el proceso y todo lo que necesita para comprar, para vender su casa y para invertir también. Así es que bienvenidos a un episodio más y hoy tengo aquí a mi sponsor y co-host Nicholas. Hello Nicholas, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
We're
Happy to be
excited you're
again.
here today also. And esta es tu casa. Tu casa, Long Island. Tu casa. All right?
Okay.
Tu casa. And then tenemos a Juan Vírez, nuestro querido amigo, experto en marketing.
Sí.
Y también, Juan, bienvenidos a
Muchas gracias. Gracias a tu casa.
Bueno, señores, hoy vamos a hablar sobre lo que sabe Nick. Préstamos hipotecarios. Mortgages. Y va a ser en Spanglish otra vez. Right? ¿Cómo se llama el programa, Nick?
Are we doing this
What
in
is the
Spanish?
name of the show?
Are we doing this in Spanish or
No, in
English?
English. Don't.
That's cut off, by the way.
It's okay.
Oh,
Relax,
you gotta
relax.
do it in English. My Spanish is not good.
No, it's going to
No.
be in English.
Okay. Don't ask me questions in Spanish. 'Cause
What
it's
is the
like,
name of the show?
Tu Casa Long Island.
Tu Casa Long Island. Okay. Can you say pupusa?
Papusa.
Okay. Can you say mango?
Mango.
Okay. Can you say bandeja paisa?
Panda Behaisa.
Bandeja paisa.
Pandea Baisa.
Okay.
Help me out here, buddy.
Okay. So,
You're good,
pasó la
you're
prueba,
good, you're
señores.
You did good.
Bueno, vamos a empezar con nuestras preguntas sobre hipotecas. En el programa pasado tratamos todo sobre inversiones, flipping houses y en esta semana vamos a lo básico, cómo comprar su primera casa, los programas disponibles, bueno, y mucho más. Así es que, Nick, what type of mortgages are available for home buyers in New York State, Long Island?
A lot. You have your conventional, your FHA, your VA if you're a veteran, renovation loans. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yes.
But the most common one right now would be your FHA mortgage,
The most common, yes.
which allows you to put minimum down payment, which is 3.5%. And you can go down on the FICO score too, so your credit score. You can go down to a 580. Technically, there's programs out there with 550, but they require more of a down payment.
Correct.
But FHA, 3.5% down, and you're allowed to have a higher debt-to-income ratio. So the banks allow you to have a little more debt, compared to your income in order to qualify for that loan. So I'd say that's the most common program right now that most first-time home buyers are using right now in New York.
Yes. And what is the difference between, because we get this question a lot, between FHA and conventional loan?
Okay, so the difference is the FHA loan allows you to have the higher debt to income and a lower FICO score compared to the conventional mortgage. Typically, you see conventional mortgages being used when the buyer has a higher FICO score and a larger down payment. So that I would say that's the main difference is FICO score and down payment, and debt to income, depending on what kind of loan that you would qualify for, that would better fit you.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about the primary mortgage insurance?
Yeah, so anytime you put less than 20% down, the banks do require you to have mortgage insurance. However, there is a new program that's out. It's not new, but it's now more common since the rates have come down since where they were, 6 to 8 months ago, where on the conventional program, you could put as little as 3% down and have no mortgage insurance. Okay. With that program, though, you do need a high FICO score, 750 or higher, for it to make sense.
Correct.
But for the risk of putting less than 20% down, the banks do collect, a mortgage insurance premium.
Correct. And what are the current interest rates?
So the interest rates right now could be anywhere from the upper 5s to the mid 6s. So anywhere from like 5.75 to like 6.5%.
Perfect. So, Nick, I know you get this question also. Sometimes people come and they say, somebody told me that I can buy a house with 0% down.
It's possible, but you have to be a veteran. If you're a veteran, you can do, as long as you qualify for the VA loan and you have a certificate of eligibility, which will give you your qualifications for that, you can do 0% down. Besides that, there's no other program. If you're FHA conventional, you do have to have some sort of down payment, as little as 3% down.
Correct. I mean, I always tell the people the best thing for you is to sit with Nick, with your loan officer, and go over everything, because every situation is different.
Right. 100%.
You don't have the same job of the other person. You don't have the same income. You don't have the same credit. So that's why it's very important to sit with your loan officer. And of course, you can sit with Nicholas Raimondi and go over your pre-qualifications so he can determine what is the best program that he can offer you in order to purchase a house.
Yeah, it's always the first step is to sit with a lender and figure out what you could afford, where you want your payment to be, so that, you know, once you do get that pre-approval, you'll be prepared and know what you can look at.
Exactly. Yeah. Even before we put in an offer, we need the pre-approval letter, because we cannot submit an offer without pre-approval letter.
Definitely not.
Correct. So this is number one, okay? And what are the closing costs associated with obtaining a mortgage in New York State?
So aside from the down payment, right, which is not a closing cost, so I always tell people,
Correct.
You can always estimate in New York, depending on what kind of loan it is, 4 to 6%. Okay, New York State, you have a lot of recording charges, you have mortgage tax, so anywhere from 4 to 6% of the loan amount is what you should be prepared for.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, before continue, I want to remind something. Quiero recordarle algo a nuestra gente antes de continuar con nuestra entrevista, y es que si tienes ese sueño de comprar tu casa, podemos ayudarte. Tu Casa Long Island Show te trae toda la información que necesitas para comprar tu casa. Todo sobre compra, venta de casas, todos los nuevos programas hipotecarios, que es lo que Nick está hablando en este día. Todo sobre down payment, ayudas para tu inicial, gastos de cierre, crédito, taxes, préstamos y facilidades para personas con Tax ID. Y si quieres dinero para invertir en el mundo de los flips también, o inversiones, bueno, aquí tenemos todo, y puedes llamar a nuestro sponsor, nuestro amigo Nicholas Raimondi. Ahí están los contactos en pantalla. También, mi gente, no pierda su casa. Si eres dueño de casa y estás atrasado en el pago de su hipoteca y estás en riesgo de perder tu casa, bueno, podemos ayudarte con nuestros abogados, expertos, especialistas que están dispuestos a ayudarte. No esperes último minuto. Si tienes cualquier situación de dificultad, llámeme al 631-408-1072, 631-408-1072 para ponerlo en contacto con uno de nuestros abogados que referimos para que ayude a nuestra gente. Y también, señores, aquí tenemos un informe sobre la propiedad de vivienda de NAREP, que dice que en el 2022, y esto es muy importante para que usted entienda por qué debemos comprar nuestra casa e invertir en hacer una inversión inteligente y segura. Dice que en 2022 la tasa de propiedad de vivienda de los hispanos alcanzó el 48.6%. La Oficina de Protección Financiera del Consumidor, CFPB en sus siglas en inglés, comenzó a recopilar datos étnicos en 2018, en el año 2018. Los latinos han aumentado su tasa de compra de viviendas en al menos 10% anual. En el año 2022, los datos más recientes disponibles mostraron que los latinos compraron más de 735,000 viviendas en los Estados Unidos a través de hipotecas, y aumentó un 42.5% en respecto al año 2018. Así es que de ese paso, porque muchos están logrando su sueño americano de comprar su casa, y comprando su casa usted está invirtiendo en su seguro financiero y en el futuro financiero de su familia. Así es que ya usted sabe otro dato más, y es que los latinos están comprando casas más jóvenes. Los latinos que compraron casa en el año 2021 tenían menos de 45 años, en comparación con el 63.9% de la población en general. Un estudio de los principales profesionales inmobiliarios, y ahí entramos nosotros, indicó un aumento en el número de compradores multigeneracional en el año pasado, mientras que en el 19 de 25 informaron un aumento en el copréstamo, particularmente en el número de miembros de la familia. Así es que, señores, a comprar su casita. Y un mensajito también que les quiero dejar es que esta frase que me encanta de Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Y dice, los bienes inmuebles no se pueden perder ni robar, ni se pueden llevar. Comprados con sentido común, pagados en su totalidad y administrados con cuidado razonable, son la inversión más segura del mundo. Así es que la casa primero y después todo lo demás. Bueno, vamos a una breve pausa y continuamos de regreso con nuestro co-host, Nicolás Raimondi.
Solo buenas vibras. Solo buenas vibras. Por aquí, por Latino Mix. Por Latino Mix. Dale play a tu bocina.
Hello, mi gente. Welcome back. Estamos aquí en tu casa, Long Island. Y continuamos conversando con Nicolás Raimondi sobre préstamos hipotecarios. Hoy nuestra entrevista en inglés. Okay, Nick. So next question. Very important. How does my credit score impact the mortgage approval process?
It affects it a lot. You want to try and keep your credit score as high as possible. But more so, aside from the score, is the utilization of the cards. You don't want to max out these cards at all. That doesn't look good for the banks, right? If there's high utilization. And also, you want to make sure you're on time with everything. Because if you're in the middle of the process and let's say there's a delay in the loan or the loan closing and the credit has to be rerun and the balances went up and you missed the payment, the score goes down a lot. It could be an issue with the loan. So
yes, so it's very important. Okay?
Very important.
Yes. So can you provide details on the different loan terms available, such as 15 years and 30 years mortgage?
So yeah, you have 10 years, you have 15, 20, 25, 30. Those are all available. The rates do go down with the lower amount of years that you take. However, I always tell people to take a 30-year mortgage. To me, it makes more sense. So you get the lower payment. And if you want to make it into a 20-year, 25-year, 15-year mortgage, you could just pay extra every year, every month, every few months. And you could apply those extra payments as the principal of the loan so you pay the house off quicker. So I always recommend doing a 30-year mortgage.
Perfect. Nick, I want to ask you, which was your most difficult loan process?
The most difficult loan process. I try and get everything up front so it's as easy as possible.
To avoid all complications.
But the most difficult loan process, I would probably say when I had one of my clients switch jobs 3 times when getting the mortgage.
3 times?
Yeah, it was 3 times. So, that was it. That was the biggest obstacle of the job.
Yes.
And not so much because they were quitting, but there was, the client did get fired. So I would say that was it. And it was almost unreal, it was kind of unheard of, but I would say that's the most memorable, difficult file that I had.
And were you guys able to close?
Yeah, it closed. The client finally found a steady job, a long-term job, and, it was guaranteed, and we closed. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, it's very important. When you're buying a house, please, before you switch jobs, talk to your loan officer and go over, because it might affect the process.
Before you do anything.
Yeah, before doing anything.
Don't buy anything. Don't just...
Before even go for vacation.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, that's true. That's true as well. Yeah.
Yes, I always tell them, I have cases where they want to go to Salvador, they want to go to Honduras, Dominican Republic, Colombia. I say, wait a little bit, because you are doing the possible, maybe the best and the most important investment on, financially, which is buying your house. So just wait a little bit for this vacation. Don't go to Greece, Turkey. Just wait a little bit.
Don't finance anything either. If you're in the middle of the loan process, don't go and finance furniture or
cars,
or finance the vacation or take out a personal loan, because that could affect the debt to income and you could potentially get denied for the mortgage.
Yes, it's very important. Yes. Okay, well, so are there any specific requirements for home inspections?
I don't, a lot of banks now don't require a home inspection to get a mortgage. But I always recommend you should do a home inspection.
Me too.
Right? Because we don't, I don't have the eye that a home inspector has or a contractor has
Correct.
to see things. So you want to, avoid potential issues later on that could be very costly. So I do recommend getting a home inspection. However, I do not require it.
Yeah, during COVID, there were a lot of cases where in order to get an offer accepted, you were like just not doing inspection. I will never recommend doing this.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like you said, we're not inspectors,
Mm-hmm.
and we are not the owners of the house. We don't know what's going on in the house.
No.
That's why you need, it's the same with your loan. I cannot do your loan. That's
Yep.
why Nick is here, and Nick is not going to find you the house. I'm going to find you the house. It's the same with the inspector or the attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So you always want to do the home inspector.
I agree,
the home
100%.
inspection. Even it's not going to be for negotiating something, just to know.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
You want to know that you're moving into a good house, that it's not going to cost you too much money after you close on it to repair, a
Correct.
foundation, roof, costly, repairs that could potentially be dangerous too.
Yeah, sometimes I show a house like a lot of potential, and maybe the kitchen is, a little ugly.
Mm-hmm.
I love beautiful kitchens, so I always take a look, about the kitchen. But sometimes it's not a nice kitchen, maybe not updated and not, but the house, it's a really good house, like maybe big property, I don't know. And, that's not a big problem. You can always do a very nice kitchen renovation, but the location and, of course, the space, the property is the most important thing.
100%.
Yes.
I agree.
Or the bathroom.
And no matter what, when you buy a house, even if it's a brand new construction, I'm sure you guys know this as well, you always do something to it.
Yes.
So
even if it's the new construction.
Whether you change the paint, change the kitchen, change the bathroom, the shower, whatever,
Correct.
you'll always do stuff to a house.
Yes, and I love how my clients, after they purchase their house, they make some improvements or some personal touches. They finish the basement, they do this backyard. I mean, they do amazing things.
Yeah, I love getting those
I love
pictures.
that part.
Yeah.
Because, that tells you, well, they saw the vision, they took advantage of that and they went for the
100%.
right house. Yes. Okay, so what is the maximum loan amount I can qualify for based on my financial situation? Like, everybody is different.
Right. So what we do as lenders is we take all your income, right, whether it's multiple sources or just one source, and then we run your credit. Okay. Then we plug in numbers to see where your payment would be. So your mortgage payment, along with all your liabilities, right? Your credit cards, car payments. Then we take your income and we come up with a debt to income ratio. Once we have that ratio, determines what kind of loan you could get and how much you could afford. So we need everything, the full picture, everything that's on credit and the full income.
Yes. Nick, what is the estimate monthly payment right now on a mortgage?
I mean, it depends, of course, because, taxes are different on every house,
Yes.
Prices are different. But right now on the median sales
yeah.
price in Suffolk County, I think is like low 600s now. You're going to be looking at a mortgage payment around $4,000 a month.
Correct.
Which could sound high, but I mean, if you look what's out there for rent, it's not.
Yes.
So it's always better to own than to rent in most cases.
That's what I say. Like right now, you're looking for a 3 bedrooms
Oh yeah.
rent. It's
Yeah.
going to be $3,500, $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
So
Add an extra couple hundred if you have a little dog or something.
yes, yes. Now you're talking about dog.
Even if you're allowed to
My
have one,
daughters
yeah.
are trying to convince me about the dog. Oh my gosh.
You should get one.
Yeah, get one.
Every household needs a dog.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
so.
Well, they almost convinced me. So let's see.
I tell you, I was never a dog person, and now I am. They convert you.
Wow.
Well, let's keep going because we have a lot to talk with Juan Vides
Yes.
today also. And are there any prepayment penalties or fees for paying off the mortgage
Nope.
early?
Nope,
No?
not in New York. 1 to 4 unit properties with a regular consumer mortgage, conventional FHA, no prepayment. You can sell it whenever.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's great to know.
Yeah.
Can you explain the difference between fixed rate and adjustable rate mortgage?
Definitely. I haven't done an adjustable rate mortgage in a very long time, only because most people like to know what their payment's going to be and that it's going to stay that payment. So the fixed rate, it stays for the life of the loan, the full 30 years, 20 years, however long the term is, stays the same rate. Adjustable, it's fixed for the first few years. It could be 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And then after that, it adjusts to the market. So it could go up anywhere from 1 to, usually maximum 3%. But I really never recommend taking an adjustable rate.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
You won't recommend it?
No.
Definitely. And how does the loan approval process work? And what documents do I need in order to get approved?
Driver's license, social security card, and again, full income docs. If you're self-employed, it could be potentially 1 to 2 years of tax returns. And if you're a W-2 employee, last 2 years of W-2 and the recent pay stubs. And when getting a mortgage, you need to be employed for at least 2 years, unless you were in school previously, like if you're a nurse or a doctor or you're in some sort of training. So you have that history that, you were in training for a year prior to when you started your job, that would be required. So usually 2 years of work history or some sort of training or schooling.
Excellent. And are there any special considerations on programs for veterans or active duty military personnel?
Yes.
Again, same question.
Yeah, no, definitely. With the VA loans and, active duty, you could put 0% down and there's no mortgage insurance. So I know earlier we spoke about anything less than 20%.
Yes.
You have the mortgage insurance, which could potentially be anywhere from $150 to $400 a month, depending on the price of the house.
Amazing.
So the mortgage insurance is waived for veterans with the 0% down payment.
Amazing. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a lot of more interesting questions for you, and then we're going for a quick pause, and then we're going to come back with our special guest today. So, see you right back.
Solo buenas vibras. Solo buenas vibras. Por aquí, por Latino Mix. Por Latino Mix. Dale play a tu bocina.
Hello, mi gente. Welcome back a tu casa, Long Island. Y ahora sí, Nick, vamos a darle la bienvenida a nuestro invitado especial en este día, Juan Vives. Hola, Juan.
Muchas gracias. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien. Welcome back home.
Sí, welcome back home.
¿Cómo te sientes de estar aquí con nosotros hoy? How are you feeling to be here en tu casa, Long Island?
En mi casa, excelente. Estoy bien. Muchas gracias por estar aquí y invitado y siento alegre y es mucho. Estoy gozando mucho.
Well, we're happy to hear that. So, we want to go over a marketing stuff for business owners, for realtors, for everybody. That's why you are here today.
Yes.
Because you are an expert.
Right.
How can realtors or any business owner can market themselves?
Okay. I mean, it's like I said before, there's a lot of platforms with social media, so they're all free. So you could always start with that, getting the word out there and creating these profiles, and then finding out where your customers are and targeting those customers according to, where they fish. If you got to find the fish.
Yes. Juan, which platforms, social media platforms, do you recommend to, you have to have this?
I mean, again, for business, I think LinkedIn is like the no-brainer because that's like the Facebook for businesses, right? So it starts with business. So if you're in business, it makes obvious sense to have LinkedIn. Like that's like a no-brainer. Everybody has a LinkedIn. Yes. And the other thing is that put your LinkedIn on your other profiles too. That allows you on Facebook. You could put your other links to the other profile like Instagram and vice versa. You could always interconnect. So if you interconnect with your social media, that also is always very helpful. I
need your help because I really love marketing, social media, but I don't have the time and the knowledge like you do. So please, I need your help.
Absolutely. We'll talk. We can absolutely talk.
And how can they find the keywords?
Okay, so that's really easy. I mean, the first is Google, right? Google is the largest search engine, right? Then you don't forget about you have Yahoo, you have Bing, and you have other search engines, and they all run differently. All remember that when you're searching, you're not searching the World Wide Web. You're searching their database, their supercomputers. So whatever they have indexed or copied, that's what you have to do. So you always want to start the search with Google. So always type in the searches, and if you ever notice that Google will give you some keyword suggestions, guess what? Those are the popular keywords. The keyword suggestions are the popular keywords, so you can start from there. Now you, after doing your homework, and then you go to social media too, you can use the hashtags, right? You go to Facebook, you go to Instagram. Instagram will actually tell you the numbers of hashtags, how many hashtags are in 20,000, 3,000, 2 million. So you can use that as a tool. And the other one is Google Keyword Tools. Google has this tool called Google Keyword Planner, and in there it has a tool. It's free. You can use it, and Google will tell you what keywords based on their the research. They can tell you how many keywords people are looking for. So that's how you can find the keywords, because not all keywords are some are more popular and they get more search results.
In different platforms.
Yeah, in different platforms too. Just check it out, but I would say majority of the world, I would say, uses Google. And then there's other search engines in the part of the world that use different types of search engines.
Yes. Okay. In website.
Yes.
How can they improve their websites?
Well, it's always about the user experience, right? Always put yourself on the user or the customer. How would you like to be treated? It's always like how you like to be treated when you come into your house, right? Tu casa.
Yes.
How do you like to be treated? You want to be welcomed, maybe having a video. Videos are always good because videos keep the user the longer. Your job is to keep the user longer in your house.
Correct.
The longer you keep the person in your house, the beneficial is for you. The more points you get for Google, because Google will say, "Oh wow, they have good important information that they're staying in the house for a long time." Not the houses they come in and close the door real quick. Those are those called the bounce rates. The people that come in, the spammy websites. You know what I'm talking about. You get those the pop-ups, and you go to the websites and you're like, oh, this is spam. This is just, you close it right out. That's the close rate, the bounce rate. In other words, is high.
Yes, and just like you said, there is a lot of tools for free.
Correct, a lot.
That we can actually do.
Absolutely.
I know, but I don't have the time.
Yeah.
So what is the price range for to open a website?
Well, it's free. It really starts for free. I mean, Google does it for free. You could do that. But our recommendations, you always, want to invest, but you pay for what you get, right? So
Correct.
You want to make sure that you always want to work with somebody, because, you could create a website or something like that, even a profile, like pages on Facebook. You could create a business page on Facebook. That doesn't cost anything, That's it. That is a website. A lot of people don't realize that a Facebook page, a business page, is actual a website. Same when on LinkedIn you could create business pages. So you could actually go, if you don't have a website, the first thing you could do with social media is create business pages, because that's actual website, and then you can start developing the website there, because you're starting to gather information and data. I think that's the hardest thing with creating a website is the information and data. What you got to write, what you got to do, and using the social media free stuff is to gather information, getting feedback from customers, and you can gather and start gathering information. At the end of the day, it's about data, information, and putting it out there.
Correct. Amazing. And what is ADA compliance?
So yes, this is very important especially for people who own a lot of websites. So ADA compliance for the hearing and visually impaired. So you have to make sure your website is ADA compliant. If it's not, you could be liable for lawsuits. Lawsuits could go up to $100,000. When you get sued, there's no way to get around it. The settlements could cost anywhere from $20,000 to $10,000. I've had so far 3 customers that had got sued. And when you get sued, it's not pretty. You have to redo the website from scratch and get it for compliance. So you want to make sure you do do it the right way first before you get sued. So right now in New York Appellate Court, there's over 2,500 cases about lawsuit faces. So yeah,
Wow.
this is serious, folks. So you want to make sure that your website's compliant for hearing and seeing impaired. This goes back since 1992, by the way, but the lawsuit got sued in 2017 by a blind user trying to put a coupon onto the website, and that was discriminatory. So they sued for $100,000. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this.
Yes. Well, what about the promotion? How can I promote it? How can I handle this? Because
I know. You're just getting the word out there. I mean, first, always say start with your friends. Start direct message, DMs. Okay, that's the best form because nowadays
I started using this.
Yeah, DM,
personally.
Text message, DM.
Yes.
You have to look. There's a saying: you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink. But I have another saying: you could drown out the horse. So that means you could just keep hitting it over time, and you could do an email, text message, phone call, video call. There's so many different ways of communication. At the end of the day, you're communicating and your information to another person. How do you do it?
Yes.
And we get bombarded with so much commercial as we get. So, people just want to close stuff up. They don't get bothered. The snail mail, throw it right in the garbage. So, we don't have time.
Yes, that's very important. Okay, Juan, I want you to talk about Winning Wednesdays.
Sure.
Because that was, to me, very, very creative, very interesting. I was there a few times.
Yes.
And that was right during COVID.
During COVID,
that you
yep.
started.
So I had a full disclosure. In 2018, I ran for public office. After I ran for public office, I had to restart my business because I took 2 years off from work, to run for public office. I ran for state office, by the way. Mm-hmm. So I, coming back, I had to restart my business, hit the reset button all over again. And the only way that I knew how to get business is through networking. So what better than do? I used to belong to BNI. I used to belong to so many other networking groups out there. There's so many other great ones. But I created my own, And then we used to get about 40 people at a pizzeria, 40 people in person. Then COVID happened. And
Wow.
the crazy thing about that was that our members that we had in person, they didn't come on video. So it was almost like starting all over again.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then when we had COVID, we grew up to had about 90, 80 people on a call. Wow. Virtual calls. Yeah, we were getting a lot of calls. And we've been doing this for 5 years now. But after the COVID, we changed our model to, more of a marketing, branding, networking. We're a little bit different. We're more transactional. I mean, we're not transactional. We're more relational. And I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust.
Absolutely. What inspired you to come with Winning Wednesdays?
I got to tell you, and this goes out to my brother. Actually, it was my brother, Mauricio. Mauricio, because I'm going to give him a shout out. He's 14 years younger than I am. And this is after I ran for office. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was telling him, I should join up on other networking. He said, you should start your own networking group. And, he was absolutely right. He gave me,
Amazing.
And then the ball came after that. So,
Yes.
And it was all about connecting. It started with 6 people, and then it just grew exponentially.
Yes. And what was Winning Wednesday about? What you guys, I know, but I want the people know what everybody talk about this in these meetings.
Well, we talk about business. It's always about business. We have a question of the week. Every week we have a different question. It's like, what kind of app you use for your business? What did you do this quarter, last quarter? We do different things to learn. We're there to learn from other business owners. So there's a lot of entrepreneurs. We come together on a weekly basis, and the beauty is that we can share war stories. We can relate. We can it's a camaraderie. It's really nice to always see these people. It's like going to I hate to say it's like going to Cheers, like bars. Like everybody knows your name. It's a beautiful thing, and that also opens up to more business. Once you start becoming friends, it just makes it a lot easier to the process of do business.
Amazing. Well, I want you to speak a little bit about your family.
Oh,
What
thank
is
you.
your jacket? It's not here.
Oh yeah, it's over there. Yeah, I'll get it. Let me get it. So my family, yeah. So My wife Felisa, I'm married for 16 years, 26 together, and we have 2 kids, 12 and 14. So love my wife very dearly. So and her birthday's coming up soon, so I have to get ready for that.
When is her birthday?
Wow, she's putting me on the spot.
Because mine is next week.
Oh no, she's the 16th.
Next week
She's
is
the
my
16th.
birthday, okay?
She's the 16th. So
March 16th?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and then mine's in April. I'm April, so she's older than I am.
Right there.
Yeah, I give her stuff though.
Amazing.
Yeah, but I have a picture of. So I one of my client of mine's. We got on the first page of Google, and as a gift, she did a jacket for me, and it had my kids in it. So it was the inside line of kids. My kids are older now; they're 12 and 14. But these kids, when they were younger, but I'll show you a quick.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, so people can see it. I don't know if you can hold the camera. Can you see the kids?
Let's see. That's beautiful.
That is cool.
If people see the kids, so they're a lot older now, so they're not kids. So.
Amazing. Okay, Juan, how can people reach out to you?
Sure. The best way, you could call me 212-202-1952 is my number, or you could go to my website, techacs.com. Well, you could also, if you want to network, or meet me every Wednesday. I'm there virtually, 11 o'clock. It's winningonwednesday.com, and you can register as a first-time guest, and you can get all the Zoom information. So thank you.
Thank you very much for being here and taking the time to come and share all these amazing information.
Thank you.
And thanks to our sponsor and dear friend, Nicolas Raimondi. And we are very happy to have you here today.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you for having me.
Please come back soon.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay, this is tu casa.
Muchas gracias.
Okay. Bueno, señores, nos vamos a una breve pausa y continuamos con más de préstamos hipotecarios con Nicolas Raimondi.
Solo buenas vibras. Solo buenas vibras. Por aquí, por Latino Mix. Por Latino Mix. Dale play a tu bocina.
Hola, mi gente. Welcome back. We're here in Tu Casa, Long Island, en Latino Mix. Y seguimos con más preguntas con nuestro sponsor y co-host de hoy, Nicolas Raimondi. Okay, Nicolas, let's continue with our questions. What is the current status on the New York State housing market, and how might impact my mortgage?
A low inventory. That's where we're at right now with it. There's, this house is out there, but for every house, I would say there's anywhere between 5 to 10 buyers putting offers in. So the way that this could affect you is you have to pay more. So, I mean, there's still bidding wars out there. And of course, the higher the price, the higher the mortgage.
Correct.
But there's still opportunity. That shouldn't scare you away from looking for a house, because there's a house for everyone. And, you just got to keep looking, and the right one will come.
Correct. Well, we have an amazing inventory in Island Advantage, in my brokers. And we have amazing opportunities for first-time home buyers, not only for investors. And we have renovated houses under 600 still. Yep. Great houses, and beautiful houses. So we have an amazing inventory. Just reach out to me, okay? So what about the property tax? Is it included in the monthly mortgage payment?
So most of the times it is. There are, sometimes you cannot include in your monthly payment, but you'd have to put more money down in order to, it's called waiving the escrow. And the escrow, your taxes and your insurance. But most of the time, people just want that monthly payment to include everything: taxes, insurance, your mortgage. They make the one payment, and they don't have to worry about paying the property taxes every 6 months. Suffolk County and Nassau County, tax bill comes every 6 months. If it's not included in the mortgage, you have to write a check. And to a lot of people, it's an inconvenience.
Correct. Okay, a very important question about what insurance requirements are associated with obtaining a mortgage.
So the homeowner's insurance needs to cover the rebuild of the property in case something happens. And there's no buying a house without the insurance if you're taking a mortgage. You need to have homeowner's insurance to protect you and to protect us as the mortgage company in case something does happen to that house. So, I'm not a mortgage professional. Not a mortgage professional, an insurance professional. But, once you go through the mortgage process, we do connect you with insurance agents and insurance brokers, to guide you what kind of policy best fits you.
Yes, perfect. And what about the condominiums, are there any special considerations or co-op purchases?
Definitely, especially with the co-ops. Most co-ops require a certain down payment, and a lot of them that I'm seeing here on Long Island are 10% down. So keep that in mind. If you are going to look for a co-op, you should always look into the minimum down payment. Also, you don't have property taxes, but you do have fees, HOA and maintenance fees on these condos and these co-ops. So they might be cheaper, but there are other expenses that come along with buying a condo or a co-op, as far as, higher down payments and, HOA fees and maintenance fees as well.
Correct. Okay, so can you go over about monthly cost, including mortgage, taxes, insurance for the property?
Yeah, so whenever you buy a house, you're going to have your principal and interest, right, which is the mortgage payment. In the beginning of the loan, the first few years, you're going to be paying mostly interest. But the more years and months, days that go by, you start paying the principal. The principal is the actual loan amount on the house, okay? So on top of that, you have your homeowner's insurance, okay? Then you have your property taxes. And then in some cases, you have PMI, which is the mortgage insurance, which you add all those up, and that's going to be your monthly payment. And as we discussed earlier, for the median sales price in Long Island, you're going to be looking at a payment anywhere from the higher threes to about $4,000 a month.
Correct. Correct. Okay, Nick. So I want you to repeat about the documents that the people need to bring in order to get approved.
Definitely. Driver's license, social security card, 2 years of employment history. So if you're self-employed, the last 2 years of tax returns. If you're a W-2 employee, your last 2 years W-2. Recent 2 pay stubs, recent 2 bank statements. And of course, there's other additional documents that may be needed after your loan is submitted. But as long as you have those key documents, that's enough to issue a pre-approval and get you ready to reach out to Chani and start looking for a house.
Amazing. Well, I think it's been amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We covered the basics for the process of buying a house. And I want you to tell the people all your information is going to be on the screen, but I want you to tell them how can they reach out to you.
Definitely. The best way to reach me is my cell phone, and that's 631-428-6928. You can call or text me.
Well, it's been amazing. I did our second English interview for Tu Casa Long Island.
It was amazing. It was good.
Thank you. And we're very happy that you had took the time to come and stay here for a few hours.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We hope you come back soon.
Definitely will.
Because we need to help our people.
100%.
And I know you're very committed to helping people. That's why you're here. So thank you very much, Nick.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. I really appreciate it.
This is Tu Casa Long Island.
Tu Casa Long Island.
Okay. Well, gracias, señores, por estar en sintonía con nosotros. Esto ha sido una entrega más de nuestro episodio Tu Casa Long Island aquí con Latino Mix. Los esperamos ver el próximo domingo y recuerde que este es el año donde usted debe dar ese paso, señores, y dejar de pagar esas rentas que están altísimas. Cuando usted ya pagando esa renta puede pagar igual un mortgage y lo más importante, va a estar trabajando para su futuro, para su retiro y el de su familia. Así es que para más información, 631-408-1072. Yo soy Chani Díaz, su negociadora experta en bienes raíces con Island Advantage. Así es que gracias por su sintonía. Nos vemos en la próxima.